Just when I thought things can't get any crazier, they do. Hey everyone, welcome to another solo episode of the Strong Female Athlete Podcast. It's Erica here, and boy, do I have another story for you today. And normally, I do not record solo episodes on Tuesdays. It is Tuesday as I'm recording this. I usually do them on the weekends when things are a little bit more laid back. Even though I have a pretty busy day today, I really felt the need to record this episode for the next 15 to 20 minutes because it's fresh in my mind. I got off a call with a sports mom yesterday, and man, is this story insane. And I'm going to get right into it today and explain exactly what happened. Be sure to stick to the end because the ending of this story is going to make your jaw drop just like it did this soccer mom. So yesterday I had a remote training consult call with a soccer parent. She wanted to have remote training for her young athlete. Now, this athlete was pretty young. They're not yet in high school. And usually when girls are not yet in high school and they're younger than age 13, I don't always accept remote clients just because it's too young to start a serious training program, especially remotely. And also if the athlete doesn't have a lot of experience with speed and strength training with an in-person coach first, I don't take a lot of young clients on anymore just for those reasons because they're young kids. I want them to develop that love for strength training with an in-person trainer unless they're like really ready to go and it's not the parent. So I get on the call with this mom. She said that her 12-year-old girl was looking for a remote training program, and we went over her training history. She has absolutely no background in strength training. I asked them about her current sports schedule, and this is what really got me was this girl trains 7 days a week. So I'm going to get into what I said to her mom with all that. But I first told the mom that the girl was not a fit. So after going back and forth for about 20 minutes on the consult call, I told the mom, hey, here's what I'm going to suggest. I am going to send your daughter a copy of my book, Female Athlete High Performance, because she can start with the fun speed and strength drills in there that are appropriate for her age. So if you've heard me talk about this age group before, for ages 12 and under, I like to start with body weight strength drills. I like to gamify speed and agility and make it really fun and do tag and racing games. And they're all in this book. There's pictures, there's video links. I just told her like she's better off doing that first because she is pretty young to be doing a remote program. And she just turned 12 too. So it's not like she's an early maturing 12-year-old. She just turned 12 and she hasn't even started her growth spurt yet. So I told her, I was like, look, your daughter will crush the drills and games in this book, have her do those just set for several months, and she's going to do amazing. And I told the mom that I structure my training based on age, based on chronological age, maturation, also training age. And since this girl has had no previous speed and strength training before, she has a really young training age. So I'm not going to give her the weights right away, the advanced speed drills right away. We are going to start with the foundations and build her coordination, her awareness, and her balance, and just her overall stability and strength against body weight resistance. So I was explaining all that to the mom. And then I told the mom that I really want her to have fun with speed and agility and really fall in love with it. So a lot of my drills for this age group are very task oriented, they're very stimulating, and they're not so robotic and structured coaching sprint mechanics, at least not yet. So I explained all the science behind that with this mom. The first thing she says to me, well, she paused because she thought I was going to take her daughter on as a client right away. The fact that I didn't, the mom was like, oh, okay. And then I said, hey, like I'll send you a copy of this book at the very least and just start with the programs in here and you'll set her up for success. And the mom's like, oh, okay, I think this lady was just expecting something different. And I at first felt kind of bad, but I have to stay true to my philosophy and do what's best for her daughter based on her age and her training history and her maturity level. And the mom then said to me, well, she's playing up 2 years. She's playing with the so and so national team this summer. They're from another country. And I'm not going to get into specifics because this lady might be listening, and I don't want to give her information away. But she said that her daughter's preparing for this elite event. And the mom was kind of insinuating that, well, my daughter's so good. She should be able to do your advanced remote program right away. And I said, no, 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 no. That's not how this works. Your daughter, yes, she might be a very good soccer player and she might be playing with the older girls and on the national team. But for her age, and given the fact that she's about to go into her growth spurt, I am starting her at the fundamentals of my program for her long term development, but also keeping her injury free. As I've discussed on this podcast before, the more advanced you get too soon, more likely that's going to cause injury in female athletes who are going through growth, where their growth plates are open, where their bones are growing faster than their muscles and tendons. We have to be really careful with load. We have to make sure they're getting a variety of movement and developing coordination and being comfortable in their bodies during this time. So I don't care how good your kid is. You are starting with the fundamentals. And I also told the mom, look, this is the exact same way we structure the education system. A first grader is doing something very different than a ninth grader in terms of coursework and course load. It becomes more important within training programs because we have young kids' bodies in our hands. We have to really care for these kids and make sure that they're staying healthy and they're developing the proper athletic skills to perform at a high level, not burn out, not give overuse injury. Anyway, I just gave her the whole spiel that you all know I always give on this podcast. And then the mom was starting to accept what I was saying a little bit more, which is good. And to be fair, in her defense, she just didn't know. She told me she had never been exposed to content like this. She said she just found my YouTube and she was being told the opposite of what I was saying. So she just didn't know. And I don't blame her. I don't think she's a bad person. I don't think she's a stupid parent or a crazy parent. She just didn't know. And that's why I'm trying to get so loud with my message on YouTube and so loud on social media and in my writing and in my books. So parents really take the right steps, especially with their younger girls, to keep them healthy and ensure they have a long, successful career. So the mom was like, okay, great. We're excited to get your book. How many times a week should she be doing the drills and the strength and the fun speed and agility from your book? And I said, well, at a minimum, 2 times a week, especially if she is in season right now and she's practicing and she has games and tournaments on the weekends, 2 times a week is really great. And then in the summer, when she has a little bit more time, she can up that to 3 or 4 times a week if she has room. And this is where the mom pushed back again. She said, well, she trains 7 days a week now. So you're saying like she should take off or she should cut back on that? Like, I'm being told that she should train a certain way. She should be on her grind and train 7 days a week. And I said, ma'am, you're not going to like what I'm about to say, but training 7 days a week is terrible for your 12-year-old daughter. And I went on to say why recovery is important, how to even get the benefit from my strength training drills, my speed and agility drills in my book and in my remote programs. There has to be 1 to 2 full off days for the muscles to be able to repair and be ready for the next intense training session. You can't train speed tired. You can't get faster if you're always showing up to speed sessions sore. You can't really build your muscles and gain strength if you're always sore and tired from 7 days a week training. And I also told the mom, hey, if you think about it, women's pro soccer players have 1 to 2 days off a week. They have an off season. So what makes you think that 7 days a week is good for your daughter who is about to be in the middle of her growth spurt and about to enter a more precarious time? What makes you think that is good for her? Silence. The mom didn't say anything. And she's just sitting there on Zoom and you can tell she's thinking about it and she's like, okay, this might make sense. She's never heard it before. And then she goes, wow, I mean, I've just been told just how she should train and that she should be doing this and doing 7 days a week. And she's going to fall behind if she doesn't train that much. And I said, look, here's how you know how to find the right information. I know that you're seeing a lot on social media. I know you have coaches and other parents in your ear, but I could easily make $400 a month from you right now and take your daughter on as a client and run her into the ground and give her some crazy programming, but I'm choosing not to. I'm choosing to decline over $1,000 from you so that your daughter can go about this in a healthy way. So if you're trying to figure out who to trust, you should trust someone who's not willing to take your money right away and they're trying to give you information so that your daughter stays healthy. Silence again. Her jaw dropped. And that was what did it on that call. That was what woke that mom up to, okay, maybe we are doing it wrong. And I really hope she really sits with this. And I just hope that call impacted her and what she does and how she moves forward with this girl's training. I think that's so key for sports parents to ask is, okay, are the trainers and coaches I'm talking to, do they understand child development? Do they understand long-term athletic development and where my kid is in their own journey? How old is your kid? Have they trained before? Do they have injury history? Are they in season or off season? Are they getting recovery days? And if no one's asking you that question and they're just having you swipe your credit card, that's a red flag. And I just wanted to get on here real quick to tell this story because I think sometimes sports parents just aren't really asking enough questions with people they talk to about their child's development or people they hire. And they just swipe the card or they do what other parents are doing and they just assume this person has their kid's best interest in mind. And I think you really find the people who are coaching and training in integrity who are asking you questions as a client too. And when I have my remote consults, I ask probably more questions than these people ask me because I really want to fully understand the girl and her schedule and her demands. And is she having off days and what she's going through? And does she really want this? Does she really even want to do a remote program? Because if it was her mom who wanted it for her, then she's going to fail right there. She's not going to stick with the program. And there's nothing I can really do to convince a 12-year-old to love remote training. She kind of has to fall in love with it first on her own in person. And then maybe come age 13 or 14, she's ready to do the remote program. And great, let's rock and roll. But if it's the parent that wants it first, then that's a red flag. And that girl's not going to be successful no matter what program she's in. So the girl has to want it for herself. I also think sports parents need to realize that recovery days don't mean your girl is going to fall behind. She's actually going to have an edge. She's going to get ahead. And one of the biggest competitive advantages today in the crazy youth sports climate is taking off days, because that's where the biggest gains happen. That's when muscles repair. That's when your girl can go back to her next training session and actually have higher outputs and actually reap the benefits from those sessions. So take your off days, 1 to 2 days a week. You heard it here first. Well, hopefully not. Anyway, guys, I really hope you take this message to heart. I just had to hop on here quick because it was fresh. The call happened yesterday. And again, for the mom who was on this call, I have nothing against you. I'm here to educate. I'm here to be bold. I'm here to be honest. And look, if it impacts you, awesome. If not, then I hope one day you come back and you realize what's right for your daughter's health and her development. And, I realize that I'm just becoming way more brutally honest and transparent. And I also realize that some people do take it and run with it. And then some people, it just goes in one ear and out the other. But I'm happy that I'm being honest with people and it's up to them if what they want to do with the information. I'm just really hoping this channel helps you all. That's why I tell these stories, because I think a lot of you can relate to them. And I'm just trying to give you tools to just do better for your children and just bring you comfort that they're not going to fall behind if they're not grinding 7 days a week or they're not on the best team at age 11 or 12. I mean, there's so many things that we tend to forget in this youth sports journey. It's not always about being the one who grinds the most or being on the best team so young. It's about doing what's right for kids, what's right in their development and their age and their maturity, and having appropriate training based on that. So, thank you guys for listening. That was my quick rant for today, and I will see you on the next solo episode. Be sure to let me know any future topics you want me to go off about. I am happy to hop on these and hopefully give you all some good advice. Thank you again. Bye.